Welcome to Heritage Insurance. In this video, we'll show you how to navigate quoting and application. To get started, create a quote. Select the product line between homeowners, dwelling fire, or artesian contractor liability. This training pertains to homeowners and dwelling fire products, so we will focus on completing a quote for an HO3 policy. Click Search to add to a customer file. This is a great tool for DP3 policies with multiple policies for the same insured. Homes over 40 years old. Click OK, and the policy will refer to underwriting at binding. To successfully refer it, you will want to rate the policy, fill out the application, and then refer to underwriting. We will normally have an indication back to you within 2 hours of submission. New construction address. Click OK to move forward, and it will refer to underwriting at the end of the application. The system will rate the policy based on the estimated property address, but will need to be reviewed by underwriting prior to binding coverage. Verify address success. All yellow fields are required. For agents who are aware of the BCEG score change for a house, they cannot manually override the scoring. If we cannot confirm the date with ISO, we will ask for additional documentation before binding. For agents who are aware of a protection class change for a house, they cannot manually override the scoring. If we cannot confirm the data with ISO, we will ask for additional documentation before binding. Financial responsibility. Our assumed rated score is an 801 to 825. If you would like to change the score, you can do so, but we highly recommend running a score to confirm, as it is a huge rate savings for customers. Running the score is required when the prospective policy is converted to application. Wind mitigation. The default is to rate without credits on the policy. A couple reminders. If a permit shows a full re-roof in the year 2002 or later, we will provide the FBC credit without a wind mitigation form. Underwriting may require a copy of the permit if it cannot be located on BuildFax. You can apply a hip roof shape without a wind mitigation, but we will need verification of the shape. The senior retiree discount can be added to all homeowners who are 55 and older. The secured community credit is also one commonly missed, but provides up to 10% premium discount on the non-wind premium. You can order the replacement cost estimator here if you would like. The default deductibles 2% for hurricane and $2,500 for all other perils. The default other structure amount is 2% and default contents coverage is 25%. For Florida, for ordinance and law coverage, it is defaulted at 10%. But has the option to be excluded, increased to 25%, or increased to 50%. For Florida, for homes 40 years and newer, the quote will include the pillar endorsement. The pillar endorsement provides the following coverages: replacement cost contents, refrigerated products, lock replacement when keys are lost or stolen, water backup and sump overflow, identity theft, extended loss of use, service line coverage, and additional personal property coverages. This policy has been successfully rated, as you can see by the blue bar. However, often it appears that the policy did not rate correctly due to the underwriting edit screen. The underwriting edit screen simply identifies to you a future underwriting approval that will be needed when the policy is submitted for binding. To continue and view the quote, click Display Quote. Once clicked, Display Quote will show the premium, limits of coverage, and endorsements on the policy. Financial responsibility score. It is required to run the financial responsibility score prior to clicking Convert to Application. To run the score, click Run Financial Responsibility Score. Once a financial score is run, you cannot change the name of the insured, the date of birth, or the location address. Make sure the insured information is correct and how you want it to read on the declarations page. We do not require the Social Security number to run an insurance score. However, it does help to get a more accurate score, especially with common last names. If the insured has recently moved to this house, or it is a new purchase, the system will ask you for their prior address. This will help us generate a more accurate insurance score for the insured. To print the quote or save it as a PDF, click Print Documents. Convert to Application. Most of this information will carry over from the quote screen, so you can move through this screen pretty easily. The Go Paperless option automatically defaults to Yes. Make sure you are selecting the correct option. This screen is collecting the insured information. All of the boxes in yellow are required to be filled out to move forward to the next screen. If the insured is going to have more than one person on the title of the property, click the red box next to Co-insured Information to enter the co-insured's information. The Interest tab is where you can add the mortgage information as well as any additional insureds, such as a trust on the policy. Type in the name of the mortgage company, and we probably have the mortgagee clause and information saved. Select from the list or click below to add a new lender into the list. All of the information will transfer over. The only additional features needed will be selecting the position of the mortgage, the mortgagee clause, and the loan number. Upon completion, select Save Interest to add it to the policy. If you have not run the replacement cost estimator during the quote, you will be asked to run it at this point in the application. A lot of this information will come from the quoting section. Any answers that are blank and yellow need to be filled out. Some of the areas appear to be grayed out. Those selections come from the replacement cost estimator. If you need to change one of those sections, do so on the replacement cost estimator and it will transfer into the system. Clicking Continue from the Property section will generate a CLU history report on the insured and the property. Loss history. If the policy had losses, they would pop up at this section. If an insured or property has more than 2 losses, the system will generate a referral to underwriting. If the insured disclosed the loss and it did not populate after running CLU, CLU, then it can be added manually on this screen. The coverage section carries over from the quote information. If you want to change any coverages, you can do so at this screen, or you can continue and all coverages selected on the quote will be on the policy. The underwriting questions are very self-explanatory. One thing to note is to pay attention to questions 4 and question 25 for the wording in the questions. Questions may vary by state. Any additional remarks can be added at the bottom of this section. The worksheet shows any errors that are on the application. In this case, the following errors occurred. 1. Water was not excluded on the policy, but the house is over 40 years old. 2. A 4-point inspection needs to be ordered on the risk. If you click on an edit, such as the senior retiree discount, you can correct the application and remove the error message. In the case of the 4-point, you will need to upload the 4-point into the system and then refer the application to underwriting. When the application has been approved and you receive the notice, you will need to click on Display Application. Rate Increase. If the application has a rate increase on it, it will display in the blue box. The same applies for any rate decreases. Changes in rate can be caused by a difference in the insured financial score, CLU report, changes in coverage, changes in deductibles, etc., from the quote to the application. Click Continue on the bottom of the displayed application to move to the billing section and bind. At this point, you will need to select the Bill To method and as well as the payment method. Once selected, you are able to click the Submit for Issuance and bind the policy. Once selected, the policy will issue and the application will be available, as well as the declaration page is immediately available.